amazing Monday. So I'm gonna give us about 2 seconds to get going. Sometimes the broadcast gets delayed, so my apologies on that. And the notifications fail to go out, which is par for the course. Let me just make sure that the audio is gonna work on us this time. I had some comments last live stream, so I want to make sure that I address them. All right, so as you're coming in, a like is going to go a long way. It's going to help send out the notifications. Today we're looking at social media and really going to break it down in a way, one, that's understandable, but two, sharing with you the effective strategies that actually bring some business to you. We're not going to talk about paid. We're not going to talk about running ads or anything of that nature, although you absolutely can. You can run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, any type of ads that you so desire. I have plenty of other videos on that topic with the exact ad copies and all that fun stuff. So today I just want to focus on the actual social media, the strategy that's going to break it down into a way that, again, you can absorb it for one, but two, you're going to see the effective way to implement it to where it's actually going to be effective for your business. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. So one thing that we want to understand about social media, and regardless of the industry, that you're in, with social media, what you're doing is effectively a superpower. You have the superpower of speaking of one to many. So you have the opportunity of using your one message, whether that's a video, whether that's text, whether that's an image, something that you create or somebody creates for you. You have the ability of posting that out into social media. Again, doesn't matter which platform, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, it doesn't matter. All of social media, you have the same superpower. You're speaking one to many. You have the opportunity of communicating to several individuals that will start building relationship with you without you realizing it. What we sometimes get into the habit of is noticing how many people viewed our stories, how many people hit like on a post that we just made. We get so infatuated with that, which is it's okay to have metrics. It's okay to have numbers that you're targeting to see how you're growing. But at the end of the day, what we need to realize is even if 10 people hit that like button on one of the posts that you made, remember that those 10 people, they feel called enough to actually participate or engage with your content. There's still 50, 100, 1,000 other people that saw you, right? So there's that impression effect. So an impression is basically when you show up on any platform, but somebody doesn't take an action. There wasn't an actual like, comment, share, or anything that was present. But again, it comes down to the superpower that you have with social media. It's one to many. Doesn't matter the platform. I'll repeat that again. One to many does not matter the platform. So let's remember that. And something that we really need to hear, myself included, is we need to get over our excuses. We need to get over it, basically. We need to get over the whole either I'm not techie. We need to get over the I'm not comfortable. Nobody engages with my content. And understand that not everything is going to work. Not all of your posts are going to hit. Not all of your images are going to hit. Not all of your videos are going to hit. That's okay. We just need to be aware of that. We need to get over it. We need to accept it. And again, me not being techie, that's not an excuse anymore. Me not feeling comfortable in front of the video, unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. You can't go and hide behind that excuse, because at this point, content, when it comes to the way that people are viewing content or engaging with brands, over 80% of it is being done on video. So people are looking for you and visually and audibly, so essentially through video, to start building relationship with you. So understanding that right now is very, very important, especially as we talk about our social media strategy in real estate, because we are a brand and we need to be acting like it. So just want to give you that piece of information right out front and really champion you, because that's something that you absolutely need to hear and really take action on. If you've been thinking, this is a year, this is a month, this is a week, this is the day to get started. Well, this was your motivation. So just helping any way that I can. So as far as, before we get into the actual tactics of it, I wanted to share with you something else that we cannot overlook. So if you take nothing else from from this video up until now or after, when we get very tactical on how we approach social media, so it's duplicatable, so you can see it, it's an actual system that will produce results without having to pay a dime on advertising. You need to remember that you are now a creator versus a consumer. So you have to be a creator versus a consumer. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't consume ever. You will consume to get some ideas, to see what's working, and see what else you can do for your business. But more importantly, you have to be a creator. You have to start the conversation, and we'll talk about that in our first type of content that we produce. So remember, again, you have to be a creator versus somebody that just consumes. If you've been into the habit of logging into your Facebook app, into your Instagram app, and then just scrolling down, liking a few things here and there, sharing somebody else's content, guess what? You have to actually create. Now we have a comment here. Did you buy the 14-day filmmaking course? I don't know what you're referencing, but so no, I don't know. If you'd like to elaborate, yeah, absolutely, I can help out. But as far as a 14-day filmmaking course, I don't know what you're referencing. All right, so that's one. Be a creator versus a consumer. And something else that's going to truly help you in your social media world, in your social media game, in your social media business. At this point, you have to treat it like a business. If you're trying to pull business from it, repurpose your content. You don't have to create unique content for every single platform. It would help. It would be amazing. But you understand, or you should understand, that each platform has different personalities, has different quirks, has different vibes, if you will. It's a different type of a community. So the way that you show up on Instagram is probably not the best way that you should show up on Facebook, because there are some differences. So when it comes to the content that you create, you can post the exact same content over on Instagram, as an example, what you posted on Facebook, but how it works a little bit better, or significantly better, is through repurposing. So if you made a message over here a certain way, then you can reword it, or maybe include a different image, maybe include a different video over on Instagram. So it's going to have the same core elements, going to have the same core information, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be the you don't have to come up with something new every single time that you post on every platform. You can, and that's awesome, but right now we're trying to get into the habit of doing some social media the right way. So again, just wanted to share that create versus consume. And then also repurposing content is amazing. So if you do a video, as an example, well, you can get the transcript and create a blog out of it. You can get the transcript and quote yourself and put that onto an image, post it on Instagram. You can clip a portion of your video out, which I plan to do with this particular video, and post it on Facebook, as an example. So you have the ability of creating one piece of content that works for you in multiple ways. You just heard blog, you just heard an image, you just heard a video clip that's going to go on multiple social media platforms. So here that I'm on YouTube, I'm taking this opportunity to create the actual source of the content, and then it's going to get repurposed out. So that's one very easy way for you to become a content creator, somebody that creates content and amplifies your reach. Now, with that being said, again, this was just prefacing into the actual tactical component of our time today. We're talking about social media for real estate agents. A like is going to go a long way. It's going to help send out the notifications that we are live. Sometimes they don't go out. Sometimes I'm a little bit late in creating the event. I'll be fully transparent with you. But at the end of the day, if you're finding some value, let me know through some likes. Now, the strategy that I deploy with myself and all the agents that I work with, it's very straightforward. It's very simple. So there's 3 types of content that we focus on our social media. It doesn't matter which social media platform. Again, if you're talking Instagram, if you're talking Facebook, it's the same type of content. Osias, speaking of an amazing filmmaker, y'all should go check out Osias's real estate channel. He makes one of the best produced storytelling demographic is not right. It was not a word. He's really good at video. Let's go ahead and say that. So he's able to. He's a very talented filmmaker. So if you haven't checked out Osias's content, go and check it out. Osias Speaks Real Estate. And my camera went off. That's great. So we're going to reset the camera because it's been working a lot today. If it doesn't come back on, we are going to make it work regardless. Yeah, it's not going to come on. So you're going to see not my face, and that's okay for a little bit. I'll let this camera. I didn't think that this camera turned off. This is the new Sony A7S, I think, and it's being silly. So, oh well. The 3 pieces of the 3 types of content that we actively focus on is very simple. So the first type of content is engage. The second type of content is educate. And the third type of content is invitation. So you're creating content that engages. You're creating content that educates, and then you're making the invitation to work with you. So I'm going to break it down a little bit further. So the first type of content that you create is engaging content. Here, your sole purpose is to start the conversation. You're the person that gets to start the conversation. You don't show up to Facebook, to the newsfeed, and see what everybody else is talking about. No, you go onto Facebook and you create the conversation. What do we think about today? What you get to share a meme. You start asking people for participation, opinions. You are there to start the conversation. So you can take it anywhere you want. The goal here is to create engagement. The goal here is to start the conversation. Now, most of the time, your personality is going to shine through. Most of the time. So when I say your personality is going to come through, the type of content that you enjoy is what's gonna manifest itself on your social media content. If you're somebody that likes to stir the pot, well, you're gonna post some political items up there. You're gonna post something that's a little bit risky in terms of brand, if you will. But that's gonna be you, and that's okay. Whatever personality you have, you bring it to your social media and create that engagement. If you're somebody that is pretty is pretty, there you go, you post images of yourself. There's one strategy to create engagement. Whatever personality you bring to the table and you have personally, put it out there. Engage. Again, this is a first pillar content. This is the first type of content that you should be creating. Content that engages, creates activity around your social media. Remember, you're showing up to these social media platforms not to consume. There's going to be an element of that, and we'll talk about it here shortly, but it's not something that you certainly aren't going to spend all of your time on social media every single day and maybe make one post a week. It's not going to happen, and it shouldn't be happening. Now, when you do show up to social media and you are doing some intel gathering, and aka you're consuming, it's okay to engage with the content so you start getting more of it and get more feedback or more ideas of what type of content you need to be creating, because every single market is different. But at the end of the day, you are the one that's driving the conversation. You're the person that shows up. Basically, think of it, you're the party thrower. You're the one that took the initiative of selecting a date, getting this party going, and it just so happens that in this metaphor, the party is just a simple post. It's that simple. So engaging content, that is first, right? B Hill. Oh, is that the famous Bridget Hill? My goodness. Appreciate you being here. Udelka, what's up? Udelka, if you my personnel helps me a lot. Yeah, it does. So Udelka is a fantastic follow on social media. If you haven't followed her already, she's actually a great singer too. So she's a great business owner, and also fantastic singer. So thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all. So engaging, that's number one, right? That's very superficial though. Understand that if you just create engaging content, you're I'm not gonna say you're superficial, but I'm saying the relationships that you're building just aren't gonna go too deep. How you start going deeper in relationship with all of the people that are following you, all the people that are friends with you on Facebook as an example. Remember, the social media platforms is speaking one to many. And that's the superpower that you now have. How you start going deeper in relationship is actually something that Udelka does incredibly well, is educating. So she educates in her craft. So she educates more about what insurance does and what it doesn't do. So she's in the real estate. I'm sorry, insurance world. So that's her background. That's her business. So how you start deepening relationships is by actually educating. So in our world, in the real estate world, as an agent, you educate on the home buying process, the home selling process, the pitfalls, the if you have a remodel going on with one of your clients, sharing information like that, helping people through something that they have no idea on. You get to share that story. You get to educate people on what it actually looks like to be an investor in this example. And there's so many different ways that you can take it. By you being the educator, by you sharing something of value and bringing value to an individual, you're establishing a deeper relationship, but you're building credibility at the same time. So what I'm doing here, and again, just I'm very transparent with what I do. So what I'm doing here is I'm building credibility. So at this point, I've done 2 years worth of daily videos, and that says a lot. That says a lot. So from a education standpoint, there's a few things that I have figured out that I share with you and totally free to you. And there's yeah, that's deepening the relationship to when somebody calls it that's ready to work together in some capacity. I pick up the phone and sometimes I get the, oh, I can't believe I'm talking to you. I'm used to seeing you on camera. And it's starting to happen a lot more now than it used to, which is pretty awesome. But just giving you an understanding of what that can look like for you in your business. So first type of content is engaging, understanding that's superficial, that's educating the algorithm to give a flip about you, basically. If you've never posted on social media and you post now, it's gonna be tough the first couple of posts, but as you start training the algorithm, as it starts seeing, hey, every time Jaime posts, people comment, people like, people share. So let's start showing more of his content to other people, because it's gonna keep as many people as possible on our platform, right? So that way they don't shut down our Twitter. That way they don't shut down their Facebook. That way they don't shut down their Instagram because they didn't find community. So that's what's happening. It's very simple. It's a very simple formula. And as you replicate it, it becomes even easier. So first type content, engaging, superficial, educating. Now we're starting to build some roots. Now you're starting to get a community. Now you're starting to build a presence. And really this is that deepening of relationship. At some point, they're going to have an insurance need in Udelka's world. They're going to have a real estate need in our world, right? So that's something that we need to be cognizant of, because as we are building our social media brand, as we're building our social media presence, not everyone's going to come flocking to us at once. We need to continue showing up time and time again. And how we encourage that invitation is, or how we encourage that reach out is through invitation, aka prospecting. So that's the third type of post that you make. Now, when it comes to this point knows his stuff. Javier, appreciate you being here, my friend. And by the way, I don't know if you were on a couple of minutes ago. The camera turned off. And I'm using the new camera that you suggested, my friend. So we need to have a talk. We need to have a talk. Appreciate you being here, Javier. When it comes to the third type of content, it's the invitational content. This is a content that is basically prospecting. Now, where we fall into pitfall, or wow, fall into pitfalls, where we get into trouble as real estate agents is we overutilize this type of post, this type of content in our social media. And it looks very similar like, use me for your next real estate transaction. Are you looking to sell? I can sell your house yesterday and for $500,000 more. Use me for your next home purchase. Do you know anybody looking to buy or sell? You have to charge your battery, Jaime. Well, I've got the, what do you call it? The continual battery thing. You know I'm not good at cameras, but I've got that little charger. Guys, seriously, I'm good at YouTube, I promise. It's just I'm not good at cameras. My business has boomed through organic social content. It's amazing. She's absolutely crushing it. She's absolutely crushing it. Again, she's a great follow, so y'all should check her out. Udelka, drop your IG. I think that would be a great model. I think you'd be a great model for people to start seeing what that looks like in action. You have to charge your battery. You are funny. And speaking of YouTube, I'll take this opportunity. If you're looking to level up your YouTube, I know it's a little bit outside of what we're talking about, but Javier and I do a monthly group coaching. So we have every 2 weeks we have a group coaching call. He and I have been doing that, and we've seen some drastic results from some of the agents that we're working with. Most, I would say 99.99% of the agents that have enrolled have seen a meaningful change in their YouTube trajectory. The reason we don't have 100% is because some are not making videos, so that we can't do anything with. But when it comes to the ones that have enrolled and have gone through, I think we've done about 3 months now, they're starting to see some explosive growth in their YouTube channel, but most importantly in their business. So I wanted to go ahead, as Javier is there, he just hit 100,000 subscribers, so he absolutely knows what he's talking about. And so he and I do, again, it's a monthly program. Every 2 weeks we have a group coaching call in which we talk about YouTube, what's working, what's not working, elements to improve upon. We talk thumbnails. We go in depth into people's YouTube analytics and give some perspective and ideas of what to actually record next to start seeing some growth. Again, the growth on YouTube is fantastic. That's awesome. That's great. But really, the growth in the bank account, that's really what we're targeting. Not for us, but for the agents that we work with. So it's about people reaching out to our students and using them for their real estate needs. So buyers and sellers alike. Anyway, so I wanted to make that, it was totally impromptu. So I appreciate you dropping by, Javier, because it's, I don't mention it enough. So want to make sure that everybody's aware. Osai is the A7S3 is a beast of a camera. I just realized that's the camera that I have. Okay, yeah, it's a beast of a camera. I love it. It's great. So you can see I'm a very ignorant person when it comes to cameras. Udelka, seriously, great follow her for sure. All right, so as far as prospecting, here's the thing. We don't want to be seen as used car salesmen. We just don't. And even if you are a used car salesman, that's just a thing that we don't want to be seen as, and you don't have to be. So one of the easiest ways to prospect, one of the easiest ways to invite people to prospect, again, we're talking about the third type of content, is reintroducing yourself. Think about that. Just reintroducing yourself. And when I say reintroducing yourself, don't tell me that you work with buyers, with sellers, with everything else. Don't just tell me that. Tell me more about you. Tell me more about What you do in a moderate, again, we're not trying to pitch, we're just trying to introduce ourselves, because everyone that follows you on Instagram may not have seen your first post where you shared a little bit more about how you got into business, a little bit more about your background, a little bit more about what you do, where you do, and where you do it. So reintroduce yourself. That's a great, amazing prospecting post that is underutilized, and it's more of providing a bit more personality, more about your business. Again, we're not looking to actively sell. We're not looking to have a direct call to action where they need to call you right now to sell their house yesterday. That's not what we're looking for. It's just an introduction to yourself. Now, when we're looking to be a little bit more direct and actually getting people to work with us, again, remember, we've engaged them, we've educated them. So I'm not going to say they owe us, but they kind of owe us. At some point, they're going to sell their house. At some point, they're going to purchase a house. So why can't it be you? You've already done all this work. You've already entertained them to a certain extent through your engagement. You've already educated them through a certain extent with your knowledge. So why not make that connection and make it easy for them to work with you? So one of the easiest ways to do that is to do posts that, I'll give you some examples of some posts. Letting people know about the renter to owner program. You have a bunch of friends, I'm guessing, you have a bunch of friends that are renting right now, and there might be something in their history, whether that's credit, whether that's not enough money down, whether that's they're in between jobs or whatever. There might be something that's keeping them from becoming ownership, and it's not desire, right? So desire is there, but something else might be affecting that. So why not share a little bit more about the renter to owner program if you're looking to work with buyers? Share some ways to get into a home for zero money down. So actually share some information on how to do that. So when you're making these types of posts, you're doing a combination of educating, but also prospecting. And notice that at no point did I say, hey, use me for your next real estate transaction. I actually provided value to you even when I'm actually selling to you. So that's how you start getting people in your DMs. So another post, let's just see. Comment down below, and I'm doing this off of memory. Comment down below. How do I word this? Comment down below your rental. Comment down below how much you're paying in rent, and I'll DM you the houses that you can afford. Some people are going to put $1,800. Some people, if you're in California, some people are going to put like $10,000. I don't know. Costs a lot of money. So you see that the camera turned off again. That's probably because I'm going too long. So when it comes to, we're gonna keep going regardless if it turns back on or not. When it comes to these types of posts, what you're doing is providing a level of value. So you're providing some education while you're inviting people to work with you. Now, this can be known as ninja selling. This could be a little bit more discreet than you're used to. You may think, hey, this isn't bold enough. That's okay. Just start making some of these posts, but don't overuse them. If you're putting ask me about the renter to owner program every single day, then guess what? It's not going to work every single day. It would probably work the first day, but make sure that you're building up to that. Earn that ask, earn that invitation. So again, you're going to find, in terms of how often to post, if you do a 3-2-1 formula, you're going to be well on your way, meaning 3 engagement, 2 education, and then 1 prospecting, you're golden. And if you notice, if you're doing 7-day posting, so 1 post every single day at least, then there you have it. 3-2-1. Just think of it from that standpoint. 3 posts that engage, 2 posts that educate, and then 1 that actually invites people to work with you, aka a prospecting post. Folks, it has been an absolute journey with this camera being silly, and I really do appreciate you coming by and hanging out. We've been talking about social media for real estate agents. Again, I just want you to remember you have the superpower of speaking one to many at this point. So start using it. Don't cop out by saying I'm not techie. Don't cop out by saying I don't have time. Don't cop out by saying I'm uncomfortable. We'll get comfortable. Right? It's just, It's basically that simple. So get comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable in front of the camera, well, let's start taking some images of ourselves and improve our limiting beliefs that we might have that's preventing us from getting on camera. So if you're not comfortable taking pictures of yourself or photographs of yourself, we'll start with the written word. So there you don't have to show your face. There you don't have to be on camera. Write something. But the key is be found. Again, you're speaking one to many at this point. You need to be a creator versus a consumer. And it's a lot easier than you think. But outside of that, hey, I appreciate you coming by, hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit that like button so this starts